Hello, welcome back to another pen talk. Thank you very much for watching my channel and joining me as I explore the amazing, incredible, beautiful wide world of pens. And you see, rotating in front of you, held up by a crab, being observed by two fellow pen aficionados, a pen by Hongdian, 8041, sent to me by Hongdian. And this is definitely an attractive pen, a little bit over the top, but well done. And we're going to explore this pen, show you all the bits and pieces, ink it up, see how it writes, and see if this is a pen that you might like to have in your hand. Stay tuned. We're going to let Mr. Crab twirl around and give you a winky wink. See you soon. So all the Hongdians came packaged this way. Not saying that the ones you buy would be packaged the same way. You know, just a generic sleeve here. To me, it's always a challenge to open these. I've torn more than my fair share of these, so use some type of blade. It's my scalpel. You get it in there, you open it up, and then you slide out this metal coffin, which to me is almost as close to being the perfect container for a pen. It's the right size. You open it up, you'll find the pen inside in this cellophane sleeve to protect it. Some noise for those that like that. So the pen, which we saw on the rotating turntable, this is a nice blue enamel with some interesting engravings on it, some Chinese characters which I can never translate. And what's interesting, at the top of the cap is where they have the model number and a little bit of that filigree and the Hongdian logo. The chasing on the cap is done very, very well. That's a substantial clip, and it is extremely stiff. It's almost non-functional when it comes to that aspect of it. I mean, you could get it over some thin fabric maybe, but then who knows what it would hang up on. The whole design, I think, is done well. If this was made by some well-known Italian pen maker, people might be gushing over the design, but since it comes from China, probably not. The cap unscrews with less than one turn, which is amazing. And we see a nice number 6 nib with interesting engraving on it. Since 1997, Hongdian, it's a medium nib, and it's 35 millimeters in length. A lot of the Chinese nibs are designated that way. What I like about the pen is that section is textured. It's not slippery, even though it is metal and it's plated. And looking at the pen, you would expect it to post. This is my first time. It posts securely, but not very deep, makes for a long pen, and changes the weighting and the balance quite a lot. And the cap is not extremely secure, but I'm not a poster, so this doesn't concern me. We need to look more closely at the engravings on this barrel. It almost looks like a map of some kind. Hard for me to tell. It could also be like branches of some type of a tree or plant. So, my viewers, what do you think this is in the barrel? Some of you may actually know, so it'd be nice. Let the rest of us know. I just find the engravings on this cap to be interesting. Swirly design, covers every square inch of the cap. Not something I've seen before, but it is quite nice. One of the interesting little design elements is how that groove in the clip up towards the end, it opens up and it's a wider diameter. Just an interesting little design element there that I think works really, really well, giving the clip a little bit of dimension to it other than just a straight line, which could have been there. So this pen is being sold by the Hongdian store on Amazon. Here's the listing. And what I find in the listing is it makes reference to the Tibet Plateau, which has something to do with this design. And when I looked at some of the comments that buyers had made, they referenced a Chinese painting, Tong Du Fu. And I think it's a style where you have gold elements and some Chinese characters in a artistic design, which is kind of what this is reminiscent of. So the Tibet Plateau is a very interesting geographical area in the southern part of China. Here's where it's located on the map. And here's what it kind of looks like. The Himalayan mountains are in the background of this plateau, which has a huge history associated with it, as many places in China do. But here's a pen commemorating it. I'm assuming this swirly design has some relevance to the Tibet Plateau, but it's something that's lost on me. But I just like the fact that there's some history involved in the designs on this pen. And as we unscrew the section, and it takes a little bit of effort to start that unscrewing because there's a nice O-ring there, which I really enjoy that design. Very substantial metal barrel here. The whole pen is metal. And we'll see that spring in the converter, which I will remove. This collar here just slips right off. It's friction fit. If we pull out the converter, we'll see it's done very well. Upscale converter in my view. Nice large opening. Looks like a Parker size opening. Nice band there, which is also, makes that very stable. And then the converter probably has a very long life. The pen is definitely upscale. And when you screw down the barrel, when it tightens up against that O-ring, you feel it. Oh, there's no way that's going to unscrew by itself. So overall, I really like the design. It may not appeal to everybody, but I'm very open in my appreciation of different styles and different combinations. And this one hits a sweet spot for me. So the other thing you may ask is, how does that nib assembly look? So most of the Chinese pens now have a screw-in nib assembly, and this one is no exception. Hongdian has been doing this for a while. A nice O-ring there down at the bottom. Another one of those little pieces that make the pen, to me, very, very nice. And of course, I didn't disconnect the converter before I unscrewed the assembly, so that's what I should have done. But it comes out, and you'll notice it's a clear opening. It's a design that I think works well, and I'm certain that nib and feed pull out, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to see how this nib writes and show it to you. So those of you that watch my channel regularly know that I don't hesitate to use a new ink and a new pen. I've actually had this ink for quite a while. I bought it at Fountain Pen Hospital probably a year ago. Kind of got lost on my desk, but it resurrected itself, and I think it found the perfect pen to go into. Nice 50 milliliter bottle, good size. The opening is just big enough to pretty much accept any pen, and that cap works very, very well. So packaging wise, I'm very happy. And you can see there's a lot of shimmer in this ink. And it does go into suspension relatively easily, which is a good sign. Let's see how it works in the pen. I always appreciate literature with anything that I purchase. So this was in with the ink. Talks about all the different colors. This is the only one that I got. And when it dries, the pearlescent effect has a light catching twinkle. Nice. And obviously, Some instructions which should be obvious, but here they are. I think that final word says it all. I love the way this pen writes. And this is my first diamine shimmering ink, so who knows how much that may have contributed to it, but this is unbelievably smooth. Puts down a really, really nice line. Is very wet. And when I was doing the flushing, the flow didn't seem that good, but it certainly puts ink on paper, which is great. I'm impressed with this first Hongdian pen in the series that I've written with. So the shimmer is pretty intense. We'll see if we can catch the reflection. Hopefully it's coming through on the camera. Can't tell from looking at the display. So I've written many pages in my journal with this pen, and it continues to perform very well. Feels very comfortable. I don't tire at all, which I think is excellent. And I do continue to like the way the pen looks. That always helps with the writing, and I'll admit it. So I think you can understand this gets a big thumbs up from me. Strong recommendation. The only kind of downside is the posting. It just doesn't work well. You can put the cap there if you have to, but it's not going to be good for long writing sessions, and it doesn't stay very stable. So that's about it. I think the fit and finish is excellent. The design is excellent. The price is great for what you get in this pen. So I think it's time to just do a final writing sample and close up this video. And I have two more Hongdians to review, which have similar interesting visual characteristics, and they're all metal, and they weigh more than this one. Let's take a quick look at dimensions in my usual format. Hopefully that is useful for you to feel that you might understand this pen and how it might work in your hand. It works very well in my hand. And I think the statement is, say no more. So we've reached the end of this video. I want to thank all of you for watching. I hope this video finds everyone safe, healthy, and happy, enjoying their pens, making a tour around the world with your pens, understanding some of the historical background that might be represented by your pen. There's a little bit of everything. So enjoy your day. Enjoy every day. We've reached the end, and we will say bye. As you saw, more to come.